better. So nice to see you all. Happy Saturday morning. Today, the theme is going to be connection, belonging, and the journey. And maybe those all don't sound like they connect, but it's an invitation to connect to yourself and to others and to the earth and the world, something that we all need more of. And it's inspired by a few things. One, I have a retreat at Pie Ranch this week with the lovely Gail who joins us every week. And that is a place that is dedicated to connection to the earth and connection to other people. And it's inspiring me to think about that connection to the earth. And I have recently reconnected with some friends from high school, and I saw them last night. And one of them I hadn't seen in 32 years. And everyone was gathering for a service for someone's father who had passed away. So this idea of connection and who we all are now, and that we're still connected from this long period of time, a long, long ago, when we were all in many ways different people, and yet so very much the same. And I think that we often tap into how we're different and what we need to accomplish and what we're doing and who's in our circle now, and maybe just honoring today and this morning this web of connection between all of us here on Zoom all across the world and in our work and in our families. It is a journey, and we are all connected and need and want and enjoy one another. And so can we focus on how we belong and how we are all similar, just like one another in so many, many ways in our humanity, and that we need to take care of each other and the earth, regardless of our differences, and maybe noticing less the differences and more the similarities. And yoga, of course, focuses a lot on cells and energy, and all of our cells circulate around and move energy from one place to the other. And we're connected to this earth energy beneath us. And so allow yourself to just ponder this as you settle in on your mat to the earth, connecting your sit bones downward, noticing the connection to the earth with your body, sharing some cellular energy and space, and tilting your pelvis forward and stacking your spine all the way up towards the sky. Rooted downward and stretching and growing tall like a tree or a plant, reaching the crown of your head towards the sky. Connecting to the fact that we are all humans/animals, mammals. Sharing space, sharing nature, and sharing our alive bodies. Allowing yourself to come into your body and land here in this space. Notice your sit bones. Once again, with intention, tilt your pelvis and stack your spine beautifully tall. Take an inhale, sharing the energy and the breath and the air with everyone. And an exhale, perhaps sending goodness and connection back out into the world. And if you wish, you can close your eyes if they're not closed already. Allowing yourself to go within for a moment, to connect to yourself. In order for us to connect to others, we need to connect to ourselves. Bringing a hand to heart, excuse me, and another hand to top. Noticing your heart underneath. Taking a moment to connect to your human heart with all of its sadness and joy, fullness and emptiness, all of it. Just taking a moment to connect to it as a human with all of life's human experiences. Press the heel of your hand into that heart space, sending good wishes and oxytocin all throughout to every cell in your body. Envision it circulating around, connecting, sharing, growing, healing, nourishing. Take in another inhale, sending that oxygen everywhere, creating connections throughout. And an exhale, let it go. And pause for a moment to notice how it feels to be connected to the earth beneath, to your heart space inside, and perhaps the crown of your head reaching towards the sky. Perhaps your heart space reaching out towards everyone here in the online space, practicing together in this moment. And then take a moment to connect to all those in your world who have meaning to you. Perhaps small meaning, long meaning, big meaning, long lost friends, all of that web of connection. Noticing the connections you have in your home, in your city, in your town, in your country, and even all across the world. Lots of points of time and people you've touched and connected to. And allowing yourself to just bathe in that warmth of all of the spider webs of connection. Taking in an inhale once again. Sealing in those good feelings, and an exhale, let it go. And a moment to pause here, just to enjoy how it feels to be connected to the earth, to yourself, and to others. And I wanted to start off with a couple of quotes from my favorite book, The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse. Well, one of my favorite books. What do you think success is? Asked the boy. To love, said the mole. Doing nothing with friends is never doing nothing, is it? Asked the boy. No, said the mole. Everyone is a bit scared, said the horse, but we are less scared together. I've realized why we are up here, whispered the boy. For cake, asked the mole. To love, said the boy, and be loved. What do we do when our hearts hurt, asked the boy. We wrap them with friendship, shared tears, and time until they wake hopeful and happy again. And so, as we move today, reflecting on some of those words of wisdom, how can we use our connections, friendship, love, belonging to heal, grow, enjoy, and move forward? Bring your hands to heart center. Connect your skin to skin, each finger pad one at a time, noticing the sensations and enjoying them. Connect your thumbs to your sternum. Heart-centered connection to yourself. And a pause to send good wishes out there to all of those connections. An intention or an aspiration, perhaps, to notice, enjoy them, grow them, create more, whatever is heart opening and feels inspired around this idea of connection, belonging. There's no rush. And if we think about the journey, so much has come before, so much is there now, and so much ahead. No rush, just a chance to be in the moment, enjoying it all exactly as it is today. Taking a deep breath once again. And an exhale, let it go. Lower your hands to your thighs and open your eyes. And we'll come back together in this lovely Zoom room. Take a moment to accommodate, to let the light in with kindness, allowing everything to adjust and arrive. Notice when you give yourself that time, how much more centered you feel. Draw your attention to your belly and your heart space. Bring your hands to your hips. Inhale, reach them up towards the sky. Right thumb and middle finger grab the left wrist. Connect your left hip downward and gently tug the left wrist to the right. Open the left ribcage, whole left side body. Breathe in. Exhale, stretch a tiny bit farther. Lengthen each nook and cranny, creating space for connections in there. Room for love. Inhale once again. Exhale with the left hip rooting downward, tug the left wrist towards the right. Exhale, let go of whatever's not needed here, what's getting in the way. Another huge inhale. Exhale, gaze over that left shoulder, blowing out whatever feels like it's no longer needed. Come back to center. Switch the clasp of your hands. Grasp your right wrist, connect your right hip downward, stretch tall. Take an inhale. Exhale, lean gently towards the left. Stretch the whole right side body. Move gently and kindly. It's a journey. Breathe in. Filling your heart with love and connection and the chest with space and energy. Exhale, let it go. Another inhale, tug gently to the left. And an exhale, smooth, long, and even, calming everything. Inhale. Exhale, gaze over the right shoulder. If it's okay for your neck, be kind to yourself, breathe it out. Come back to center. Connect with the side body here. As you exhale, lower your arms towards the side. Send your energy to the side wall. Straighten your arms, press your palms into the side wall, wrists are flexed. Connect your scapula together, pinch them. Notice the energy shift with that. Exhale, release the scapula, just notice. Pinch the scapula together, tightness, all the sensations, connecting everything in the back together, feeling good. Exhale, release. Wrap your arms around you, right arm under left. Give yourself a hug. Bring your fingers to your scapula. Lift your elbows up over your chest, lower them down gently. Take an inhale here. Exhale, drop your head and chin into the cradle of your hands. Release the back and upper body. Drop your head and neck. Inhale deeply, squeeze tight, giving yourself a huge hug, taking good care of you so you can connect with others. And exhale, release. Bring your chin back upright. Release your arms, untangle them, connect the energy into the side walls. Notice that when you send your energy out, you get lots of energy with intention. Pinch the scapula, connect them together. Exhale, release. Wrap your arms in the opposite direction. Give yourself a hug on this side. Wiggle those fingers towards the medial scapula if you can reach. Pick up your elbows, lower them down gently on your chest. Take an inhale, stretch tall, connecting all the vertebrae in your spine. Reach tall on the inhale. Exhale, fold forward, head and neck come into the cradle of your hands, and just notice the whole connection that's running up the back of the spine, all the way through the neck to the crown of your head as you release. Inhale, fill up your chest, squeeze tight. Exhale, blow it out. One more breath here, squeeze tight. Inhale, send the breath to every nook and cranny, giving yourself a hug. And exhale, let it go. Bring your chin to shoulder height, untangle your arms, stretch them towards the side walls, and lower them down. Roll your shoulders 3 times, sit back and forwards. Enjoying all the nooks and crannies popping open, and pause for a moment. Draw your attention to your fingers. Perhaps you notice some tingling. Notice how your heart feels. Is it still tight? Is there more space? Take a big, deep breath into that pocket behind the heart, the one that often feels hollow without connection. Sending it the breath, shifting the energy. And exhale, let it go. We're going to come directly to hands and knees today. Come to tabletop, hands directly under your shoulders, knees directly under your hips. Your hands will be shoulder width apart. Spread your fingers wide, 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 equal pie shapes. Connect all 5 knuckles on each hand downward. Connect your palms downward. Draw the energy up through your arms, connecting into the shoulders. Notice your knees connect to the earth and the tops of the feet. Energy moving from one to the other, all the way up through the earth. Inhale, come into cow pose. Sit bones reach towards the sky, crown of the head reaches towards the sky. Exhale into cat. Reach the belly button all the way towards the sky. Inhale into cow, flow, open up your spine, and notice the connection between everything in your body working here. Exhale, round into cat. Belly reaches high, 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 high. Once again, inhale for cow. Reach the crown of your head tall. Stick your sit bones up. Notice the stretch in the front of the belly. Exhale, round into cat pose. Suck that navel all the way up. We'll meet back in tabletop. Notice how you feel.
Engage your belly. Take a moment to connect the hands downward. Every speck of both hands connected to the earth underneath. Stretch your right leg long. Engage your belly. Inhale, raise your right leg up to hip height a little bit before. Connect all the way from your back heel through your belly. And if you wish, raise your left hand long. Reach your left fingers towards the front of the mat, right heel towards the back. Breathe into your belly button. Everything connected here. Balanced, even. Inhale and exhale. Notice your right hand and left knee on the floor. Connect them downward for strength. Inhale, reach long, 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 long in either direction. Exhale, lower down the left foot and right knee. Come back to tabletop. Reestablish connection. Notice that when you have connection, everything moves with much more ease. Hard things are easier. Stretch your left leg long behind. Engage your belly. Reconnect your hands downward, both palms, all knuckles. Engage your arms. Inhale, raise your left leg about 6 inches, a little below hip height. Even your hips out if they're a little bit wonky. Flex the ankle, heel presses into the back wall. If you wish, connect all the way through the right finger, stretch long, long, long in the opposite direction. Focus on your belly. Inhale here, connecting from one end of your body all the way through the other. Notice the cellular connections, the energy connections. Press the heel and press the fingers in either direction. Stretch long. Inhale. And exhale, stretch long again. One more inhale, reach long, 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 long. Everything engaged, connecting, working together. Then lower the right hand and the left knee. Bring your knees apart, toes together. Sink back into child's pose. Hips reach all the way down towards the floor. Walk your fingers long, long, long towards the front of the mat. Stretching them as long and far front as you can. Wiggle them inch by inch by inch. And if it works for you, connect your third eye downward towards the earth. You can also take a block and put it under your forehead so that you can connect to the earth if your shoulders and arms just don't work that way. So notice what's needed to get that third eye connecting downward. And take a moment here to go back to those connections. Connect to your own self, to your heart space. Connect your hips downward towards the floor. Once again, sink them down a little bit farther. And take a moment to think about all the ways in which you are connected in the world. Perhaps think of yourself as a tree with roots that extend everywhere. And where do each and every one of those roots travel? Where are the little micro connections all over the world? Or perhaps you're a dandelion with a little, I don't know what they're called, floating around like seeds. Noticing all of the connections, the third eye connecting downward into the earth. Heart space open and light here, lots of room, hips sinking down and back. 2 more breaths here, huge inhales filling every nook and cranny. And an exhale, let it go. 1 more breath in. Exhale, let it go. Shift back up to your hands and knees, move the block if you have it. And we're going to come down into Sphinx pose. You'll lie on your belly, stretch your legs long in front, elbows under your shoulders, palms on the earth, fingers spread wide, forearms on the floor. Take a moment here to notice the front of your hip bones. Press those downward. Press the top of your feet downward. Your feet are stretched long, long, long behind you. Spread all fingers wide, equal pie shapes. Inhale, heart shines forward, lower back engaged, crown of the head is reaching towards the sky. Pause here and just notice, connect downward through the tops of the legs, the tops of the feet, and the front of your hips. Back engaged in a different way than usual. Take in a breath and exhale. Notice your fingers and palms and forearms on the earth, elbows on the earth. Inhale into the heart space once again. And exhale, let it go.
A breath to notice the front of your hips on the earth. Exhale, let it go. And a final breath here to notice the tops of your feet connected to the earth underneath. Always connecting in some way to the earth. We are as humans. Let it go. Press back gently to child's pose to release your lower back. It's really important when you do back bends to release the lower back. Knees can be apart, toes together. Reach your fingers long in front. Forehead connects to the floor. One breath here. And we will transition to downward dog. You can come through hands and knees, whatever works for you. Hips reach towards the sky. Press into your palms. Hips are the apex. Take a moment here to notice all the connections. Hands connect to the floor, feet connect to the floor. Arms engaged, connecting into the shoulder sockets. Hips are the apex, reaching towards the sky. Press into your hands, reach your hips all the way up towards the sky. Press up and back and notice the connection to your legs. What happens here? Everything is intertwined. We're never alone. Nothing is isolated. Press your right heel towards the floor and notice the awakening in the back of the right leg. Huge inhale into it. Exhale, switch sides, press the left heel towards the floor. Notice what happens there. All the connections up the right leg, back into your butt, perhaps in your lower back. Lift up onto both tiptoes. Reach your hips high. Connect your hands into the earth. Hips reach towards the sky. Press up and back. Lift up as high as you can on your tiptoes. High, 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 high. Exhale, lower your heels down towards the floor. Notice all the cellular connections here, making noise, letting you know, sharing. Perhaps walk the dog for a moment and see if that feels good. Walk your hands back towards your feet about 2 feet, a very short downward dog. You may need to widen your stance. Left hand is going to grab your right ankle, look underneath your right armpit. Take an inhale. It's a twist here. Lots of connections noticeable in the back of the legs, the arms. Breathe in and exhale under that right armpit. Bring your left hand back to the earth. Change sides. Right hand grabs the outer left ankle. Look under your armpit. Taking a big breath. Exhale, release under the left armpit. Sending the energy out. Sharing energy through the breath with the world. Come back to downward dog. Walk your hands back towards your feet. Come into a forward fold. Take a moment to widen your stance. Lift up your toes. Stretch them wide. Borrow the energy and lower them down. Connect each toe into the earth. Notice your heel and your feet connect into the earth. Allow your body to fold forward. Belly is engaged. Knees might be bent. Hands grasp your elbows. And relax fully in this forward fold. Release everything and just notice all the connections here that allow you to be upside down in this inversion and enjoy it. Inversions sometimes shift our perspective. So how might you be able to engage with this idea of connection upside down and belonging upside down? Perhaps this idea that none of us belong is upside down. Perhaps we all belong. Perhaps we're all connected in some way. And perhaps if we focused on connection rather than our differences, imagine what a different world it would be. Noticing these webs of connections from long, long ago, connections to the earth. Noticing as you hang here in this forward fold, all the shifts that are happening in the backs of your legs. Welcome them. Lift up all 10 toes again, spread them wide, 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 changing the energetic shifts and lowering them down. Lower your hands, engage your belly, and roll up inch by inch by inch by inch. Go ever so slowly, unrolling, connecting with intention. Every vertebrae, letting the energy shift, the blood flow shift. If you get dizzy, go even slower. And just pause here. Notice how you feel. A few deep breaths. Notice your feet on the floor. Lift up all 10 toes and lower them down. Engage your kneecaps. Tuck your pelvis, stack your spine all the way up through the crown of your head. Take in an inhale. And an exhale. Allow your fingers to fall towards the floor, palms open, and just notice all the connections, everything circulating throughout. Breathe in. The breath is a form of connection. And breathe out. Bring a hand to heart and another hand to top. Once again, connecting to your own heart and to your own humanity as a human with needs and wishes requiring nurturing, nourishing, sunlight, water, nature, all the things. And as you stand here, close your eyes if it feels comfortable. And notice that when you close your eyes, you can connect better to yourself, to the earth beneath. And in your mind's eye, take a moment to connect to all of the other humans in the world. What connections do we have with them? How do we all share common dreams, desires, with this beautiful earth together? And reflect on some special human connections. Let those just come into your heart like a light shining in. And allowing that sense of deep connection, webs of connection and belonging to soak in throughout you. So that when those thoughts that you're alone and everything is difficult and stressful come, you can counter them with this, knowing it's in there, in the DNA and the cells of every cell of your body. Take in an inhale into that heart space. And an exhale, let it go. Lower your hands to your sides, open your eyes, allow yourself to adjust and accommodate for a moment. Reconnect to this brighter world with your eyes open. Inhale your arms out and up towards the sky, palms together, slight arch back, fold forward, forward fold. Inhale for a half lift, hands come to the shin, butt sticks out, back is flat. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale once again, half lift, spine straight, stick your butt out. Exhale, fold forward. Walk your hands forward to downward dog and pause for a moment to reconnect hands into the earth, balls of the feet into the earth. Organize yourself and accommodate so everything is set up well. Engage your belly. Ground into the ball of your left foot. Raise your right leg with intention. Come into a three-legged dog. Notice all the connections that happen here. Press the heel into the back wall. Take an inhale. Exhale, stack your hip, bend your knee, roll that right hip open, opening the front of the hip. Roll the ankle. If you wish, gaze under the right armpit. Roll your ankle in the opposite direction. Press the right heel into the back wall once again. Re-square your hips. Huge inhale. Press that heel back. Everything engaged and strong. Exhale, bring your right foot between your hands. Come into Anjaneyasana or low lunge. If you need a blanket under your back knee or to fold your mat over, to be kind, do that. Wiggle those right toes forward. Tap your right hip back, left hip forward. Inhale, both arms up towards the sky. Exhale, drop your shoulders. Inhale, reach your fingers tall, tall, tall. And take a moment here to notice all the connections. Right toes stretched wide, connecting into the earth. All four corners of the front foot connecting. Notice your right knee. Tack it out so that your right knee is right in line with those toes. Right leg engaged. Right hip tucks back, left hip tucks forward. Left knee is on the earth. Top of the left foot is on the earth. Perhaps inch that left knee back a little bit. Inhale, reach the arms tall, tall, tall. And exhale, bend the right knee, sink in a little bit more into the low lunge. Inhale, reach tall, lengthen through both side bodies. Reach your fingers tall, tall, tall. Connecting from the earth downward through you all the way up towards the sky. Use the breath. Inhale, reach tall. Exhale, sink in. One more deep stretch here. Inhale, reach tall. And exhale, sink in. Right thumb and middle finger, grab the left wrist. Reach them tall. Exhale, tilt just a smidge towards the right. And notice what happens with all the connections. Notice the pull through the front of the left hip and breathe into it with kindness. Use the breath here. Inhale. Use your belly to stay strong and stable. Exhale, tug a little bit more towards the right. One more breath here. Come back to center. Lower your hands to the floor. Straight your right leg. We're going to come into a half splits. Right toes reach towards the sky. Right leg is straight. Walk your hands back to about your knee. Come into a half splits. If you want blocks, you can use them here to hold yourself up. It'll just shift the energy. Notice what works well for your body. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward over that front leg and just enjoy the connections running up and down the leg. Point your toe. Flex your toes. Point your toes. Notice all the connections as you do this. Raise your toes towards the sky. Inhale. Fold forward a smidge more. You can bend your elbows. Allow your head and neck to gracefully fall forward if that works for you. One more breath. Bend the right knee, lower the toes, move forward. Bring your right hand to the inside of the right foot. Walk the right foot to the outer edge. We're going to come into lizard pose. Your hands are on the inside. Roll into the outer edge of the right foot. Roll the right knee outward. Some of you will want to come down to your elbows. It depends on your groin and how it works. Mine does not work that way. So do what works for you. It's a huge groin opener here. One of the reasons to bring this into this class is that our groin is where a lot of connections are. So send yourself some kindness, send the breath in there and just notice any tightness, any resistance, any isolation, frustrations, hurt. Breathe into all the nooks and crannies with intention, shift the energy. And exhale, sink in a little bit more. You can pick up that back knee and just cinch it forward a little bit more. Top of the back foot is on the floor. Breathe in. And if you wish, lower down a tiny bit more if it works for your body. Take a moment here to focus on that connection, the webs of connection you have everywhere. Can you send those into this groin area that often just has all the bad feelings in it? Send the breath there. Sometimes it has good feelings in it. It's an area with a lot of conflict and energy. Sending the breath, flushing it out, clearing it out, keeping what works, letting go of what you don't want. One more breath here. Roll onto the sole of the right foot. Pick up your right hand, bring it to the outside of the right foot. Wiggle the right foot back towards the midline. Curl the back toes, lift up to a high lunge here. You may need to readjust your feet. Notice your hips and make it comfortable. You may need a wide stance, a short stance. Left palm connects to the earth. Spread all 5 fingers directly under the left shoulder. Twist to the right, high lunge twist. They call this an easy twist. Reach your right fingers towards the sky. Notice the connection here between the earth with the left hand and the sky with the right fingers. Wiggle those fingers towards the sky. Notice the connection between the right hip running down the top of the right thigh, perhaps. Reach tall, tall, tall. Huge inhale here in this easy twist. Exhale, release, lower the right hand to the outside of the right foot. Take a minute to organize your feet. We're going to rise up into a high lunge. So notice if you need to shorten your stance. Take a minute to get everything working just right for you. When you're ready, inhale, raise both arms up into a high lunge. Front knee is bent. Tack the right hip back, left hip forward, both arms reach tall. Inhale right into your belly and exhale, sink into it. Notice how it feels. Breathe into it. Reach your fingers tall, 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 and exhale, sink in. One more breath here. Lower your hands on either side of your foot. Step the back foot up to meet the front foot, coming into a forward fold. Widen your feet, pick up all 10 toes, spread them wide, 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 and lower them down. Bring your hands to your sit bones behind you, sacrum, Clasp your fingers, connect them, interweave each one. Press your fist towards this back wall, straight your elbows, and allow your hands to fall over your head towards the front of the mat. Noticing here, once again, inverted, different perspective, and lots of things connecting and working together.
Breathe into the front of the shoulders. And allow your hands to fall gently further forward towards the front of the room. Bend your left knee, straight your right, twist towards the right. Notice all the shifts of energy there. One more breath here. In through the right shoulder, tightness. Exhale, look over the right shoulder. If it works for you, and opt out of anything that doesn't. Come back to center, bend your right knee, shift to the left. Notice all the energy in the back of the left leg here. Breathe into it. And exhale, gaze over the left shoulder, enjoy it. Come back to center and allow your hands to fall forward another smidge, inch or two. Release your head and neck. And here, upside down, once again, focus on connection. Notice your heart space hanging lightly with more space to fill. And just entertain your connections here in this different position perspective. Allow your hands to fall towards the front of the mat. Noticing the energy, the twanginess, whatever might be calling out. And noticing here all the tiny micro connections necessary. Then allow your mind to wander to your world with all the little connections you have, keeping you safe and secure. One more inhale. Exhale, bring your hands to your sacrum. Allow them to run down the backs of your legs. Notice the connection, skin to skin, as you run all the way down the back of the thighs to the heels. Bring your hands over to your toes if they reach, and if not, virtually. Engage your belly, bend your knees, and roll up inch by inch. Move in a connected way, as if you were a string of pearls unrolling all the way up to stand. When you arrive, give yourself a moment. No rush. Notice the blood flows shift. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Notice how you feel. Take an inhale. And a huge exhale, letting it go. Inhale your arms out and up once again. Slight arch back. Fold forward, forward fold. Inhale for a half lift. Stick your butt out. Back is flat. Crown of the head reaches forward. Exhale. Forward fold. Palms connect to the earth. Step back to downward dog. Straight there. Take a moment to arrive. Spread your fingers wide. All five on each hand. All five knuckles connect downward. Palms connect downward. Arms engaged. Ball of right foot connects to the earth. Inhale, raise your left leg towards the sky. Three-legged dog. Press your heel into the back wall. Arms engaged fully. Fingers spread wide. Take an inhale into your heart space. Exhale, stack your hips, bend your knee, roll your ankle in one direction. And then the other. Take an inhale and breathe out under the left armpit if that feels good. Notice also your heart on an angle here. Lots of room to fill, lots of room to nudge things loose if there's any tightness or stiffness. Extend the left foot towards the back wall, heel towards the back wall. Take an inhale. Exhale, bring the left foot between you, come into Anjaneyasana or low lunge on this side. Take a minute to get yourself organized. Left toe goes forward. Draw the energy up the left shin. Ensure the knee is in line with the toes and the knee does not extend beyond the ankle. Tack your left hip back, right hip forward. Engage, reach your arms up towards the sky, belly engaged. Exhale, bend into the front knee and sink forward gently. Adjust the back knee if needed. For comfort, top of the back foot is on the floor. Notice all the connections to the earth beneath you. Take an inhale, reach your fingers tall, tall, tall. Exhale, sink in. Notice downward towards the earth, upward towards the sky as you inhale. Connections in all directions. Exhale, sink in a little bit more, opening up the groin in the front of the right hip. Inhale, reach tall, tall, tall. Exhale, sink in a tiny bit more. Right thumb and middle finger grab the left wrist, tug gently to the right. Inhale.
Exhale, gently tilt to the right. Notice the right hip and buttock and everything that might make a noise here. Breathe into it with kindness and only move a tiny bit here. Little shifts make a huge difference. That's also true in connection. One little tiny connection might be the thing that brings everything together. So maybe it's not a big problem. Maybe it's just one little connection you need to pay attention to. Inhale, tug gently to the right. Exhale, come back to center. Lower your hands to either side of the left foot. Walk them back to under your shoulders, straight your left knee, come into a half split. Left toes reach towards the sky. Tap the left hip back and the right hip forward, evening out your hips here. Take an inhale. Exhale, fold forward over the left leg. Enjoy everything awakening there. Point your left toes, flex them, point them. Notice the energy connections running up and down the back leg here. Point and flex. Inhale, fill yourself up with breath and exhale, fold forward once again, using the breath to allow you more movement, connection. Huge inhale. And exhale, release, enjoy, fold forward. Pause here a moment. Enjoying the sensations, enjoying the connections, running up that whole left leg, perhaps running elsewhere in your body too. Walk your hands forward, bend the left knee, bring the left hand to the inside of the left foot, come into lizard pose. Walk your left foot to the outer edge of the mat, roll onto the edge of the left foot. Left knee comes outward. Readjust the right knee if it hurts. And pause here in lizard. You can come down to your elbows for those of you whose bodies work that way. It looks like this. Do what works for you. Notice what gives you the best opening, what feels right. Notice all the energetic connections here. The emotions that may open up as you're in this position. Breathing into it. The groin and sacral area, a huge area for connection. You may notice old connections here and old habitual triggers, things like that. Breathe into them with kindness and softness. They don't need to go, but maybe make room for some good connection to be there as well. Can they exist side by side? Breathe into it. Last breath here. Enjoy it. Send a final little shift. Come back to the sole of your left foot. Draw your knee in. Walk your foot towards the center. Hands come to the either side. Curl your back toes. Lift up to a high lunge and adjust your lunge for you. Left knee should not extend beyond the left ankle. Right palm grounds into the earth. Spread the fingers wide. Twist to the left. Look up to the left hand. Notice the connection between the right hand and the left fingers. Earth to sky running right through you. Ever connected. Breathe into it. Exhale, let it go. Notice your heart on an angle here. A little more room to fill completely. Different perspective, thinking about connections and love and belonging. What pops to mind here? Sometimes in different positions, epiphanies float through. So take a moment during your practice to notice what those might be. One more breath. Lower your left hand to the outside of the left foot. Once again, readjust your long lunge stance so it works for you. It may be different as we rise up into a high lunge. You may need a wider stance, a narrower stance. Reach both arms towards the sky. Exhale, sink down, bend the left knee, come into a high lunge. Tap your left hip back and your right hip forward. Inhale, stretch your fingers tall, tall, tall. Exhale, sink in. Inhale, reach tall, 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 long, long, long. Exhale, sink in. One more breath here. Noticing the wiggles and the wobbles with amusement. Use your toes for strength. Huge inhale. And exhale, lower down. Lower your hands to either side of the front foot. Press up the back foot and hop all the way forward to a forward fold at the front of your mat. Widen your feet. Left hand comes between the feet. Fingers spread wide, palm on the earth. Bend your left knee, twist to the right. Roll the right wrist towards the sky. Notice the connection here. Left hand on the floor, right fingers reach towards the sky, running through you energetically. Roll the wrists in either direction. Replace your right hand, put it where the left hand is, bend the right knee, twist to the left. Once again, notice the energy shifting, moving through you. Roll in one direction and then the other. Bring the left hand towards the earth, engage your belly and roll up. Curls on a string, inch by inch by inch by inch by inch, all the way to stand. And when you arrive, give yourself a minute to adjust, accommodate, adjust your clothing if you need to. Taking a huge inhale. Exhale, lower your hands by your sides. Notice the blood flow, wiggle, enjoy. Shrug your shoulders all the way up to your ears. Pinch them as high as you can. Pinch them back to the back, scapulas pinched together. Lots of movement of energy and tightness. Lower your fingers towards the floor, palms open. Tadasana, mountain pose. Lift up all 10 toes and lower them down. Gauge your kneecaps, your thighs, tuck your pelvis, stack your spine, one vertebrae upon the other with intention, aligned all the way up. Heart is light. Line the vertebrae all the way through the neck. Reach the postauricular bones towards the sky. Crown of the head reaches towards the sky. Deep inhale. And exhale, release. Bring your hands to heart center. Connect your thumbs to your sternum. Going to come into tree pose. Lift up all 5 toes on the left foot and lower them down. Roots going downward for centering and grounding. Right heel comes to the left calf. Sole of the foot comes to the calf. Pause here in a low tree pose. Draw your right knee back towards the back wall. If you need to have your foot on the floor, do that too. And just pause here. Noticing all of the connections necessary for this balance. Noticing all the things engaged. Reach your fingers towards the sky if you wish, like branches. Stretching tall, energy coming through the earth, all the way up through your fingers. Heart is light and full. And take a moment here to focus on connection once again. All the connections in the world. Fingers spread wide, drawing in the sunshine, the light, the brightness of an almost summer day. Drawing the energy down through your arms, in through your belly, down through that left leg, rooting downward. Once again, draw it up through the left foot, left leg, right into your belly space. Lots of light, extending it back out through your fingers. Draw your knee back towards the front. Hands come back to heart center and lower your foot down, shake it out, roll it out. Get out any kinks or tightness. Roll your shoulders out and come back to stand. Right toes lift up. Lower them down, spread them wide, roots connecting downward, all 4 corners of the right foot. Hands still at heart center, thumbs connect to the sternum. They help with balance. Left heel kickstands to the right shin. Raise the sole of the left foot low on the shin, not at knee height. You can keep it on the ground too if you wish. Draw the left knee back, engaging the left glute. Pause here. Take an inhale right into that heart space right behind the thumbs, pressing into the sternum. And an exhale, let it go. Notice the wiggles and wobbles with amusement and lightness. Use the energetic connections here for you. Reach your fingers, branches, arms up towards the sky. Reach them tall and wide. Spread your fingers wide, 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 wide. Noticing the energetic connections from your feet, up your right leg, up through your belly to your heart space, up the fingers and out. Light shining in all directions. Envision that golden light, as we say, of the sunset hour or the sunlight Coming in through your fingers, energizing down through your arms into the heart space, into your belly space, into that groin space, the sacral plexus, love, creativity space, and down through the right leg into the earth. Bring your hands back to heart center. Thumbs connect to the sternum. Draw your left knee towards the front and lower it down. Roll your feet out in either direction. Shake it out. Enjoy it. Roll your shoulders back 3 times. Bathing everything with all the good stuff. And when you're ready, we will transition to a seat. Move the flesh of your seat out of the way. Sit bones connect downwards. Tilt your pelvis forward. Stack your spine. Your legs can be crossed easily. Bring your hands in front. Hinge at the waist. Walk your hands forward, inch by inch by inch. Back is straight, spine is straight. And just notice the release in the back. Allow your head to fold forward easily. You can lower your elbows towards the floor. This is not double pigeon, it's just an easy cross-legged forward fold. Slowly walk your hands back up. Cross your legs in the opposite direction. And once again, place your hands on the floor in front. Sit bones connect downward. Hinge at the waist. Back is straight. Walk your hands forward as far as you can and lower your forearms. If this hurts your knee, don't do it. And just notice, take in an inhale, noticing things slowing down, and an exhale. Walk your hands back towards your shins, upright. Spread your legs long. Move the flesh of your seat once again. Connect your sit bones down, hinge your waist forward, and stack your spine. Knees are bent gently. Ankles are flexed, toes spread wide, flex back towards your nose. Engage your belly. Inhale your arms straight up towards the sky. Exhale, fold forward into a forward fold. If you wish, bend your knees and connect downward, coming into a forward fold. Lots of energy shifts here in the back of the leg, the upper back. Inhale into every nook and cranny of the back. And exhale, fold forward a little bit further, release. Notice how it feels. Perhaps wiggle your toes. Stretch them wide, relax. Fold forward another smidge. Close your eyes for a moment. Breathe into that pocket behind the heart here. And exhale, fold forward another smidge. Walk your hands up your shins to your knees, to your thighs, and stack up tall. Huge inhale. Bring your hands to a foot behind your hips, press them into the earth. Exhale, press into Dandasana or staff pose. Everything engaged here, heart shines forward, chest is open, breathe in. Exhale, let it go. One more breath here. Press your knees towards the floor. Your heels may lift up. Dandasana, everything engaged. Staff pose, shoulders down and back. Heart is light. Exhale, relax and release everything. Point your toes and flex your toes. Raise your arms parallel to your legs and we'll roll down inch by inch, pearls on a string, until we connect fully to the earth, rolling down inch by inch by inch by inch by inch. When you arrive, lower your hands by your sides and take a moment to reconnect to that earth beneath you. Let it hold you, support you. Bend your knees, walk your heels all the way towards your butt. Hands are at your sides, palms down. Press into your hands and your feet. Lift your hips up towards the sky, coming into a bridge pose. Shimmy your shoulders underneath you. Hips reach high, high, high. Hands can clasp underneath you if that works for you, or the side of your mat. Notice your knees. Energetically connect them together so they're not sliding out towards the side. Inhale, once again, shift, shimmy your shoulders underneath you, lift your hips, high, 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 knees connect. Just noticing everything shift here. Breathe into the heart space, heart is light, lots of room to fill.
Notice the connections in the whole back body here, awake and alive. Exhale, untuck your shoulders, lower down, inch by inch, curls on a string. Unroll, connected. Connecting vertebrae by vertebrae back to the earth below. And pause for a moment. Noticing everything shift once again. Draw your knees into your chest, bring your hands to your shins, and just rock, massage out the lower back here. Lower your feet towards the earth. Hands by your sides, palms down. Pick your hips up, shift them 2 to 3 inches to the left, land them on the earth. Draw your knees into your chest, allow your knees to fall to the right in an easy twist. You may need to pick up your hips and readjust to stack them. Right hand rests gently on the left thigh. Left hand can be cactus shape or a T, depending on your space and how your shoulders work. 4 deep, luxurious breaths here. Into all the tightness of the pec muscles, into the waist, into the back. Huge inhales here. And an exhale. 2 more. And 1 more. Release your hand, bring your gaze back to center if you turn to the left. Draw your knees back to center slowly. Press the soles of your feet into the earth. Pick up your hips about 4 to 5 inches to the right this time, switching to the opposite side. Draw your knees into your chest. Gently roll to the left. Stack your knees, stack your hips. Left hand rests gently on the right thigh. Right arm can extend to the side or cactus shape. Take an inhale. If you wish, gaze to the right. Or big breaths, cleansing every nook and cranny. In a twist, everything connects in your body in a different way. Might there be relationships or connections in the world that are part of twists, but not part of not twists? You have just kind of a different feel, a different connection, maybe an edginess, maybe a tightness, maybe a release. Huge inhale, let it go, moving, shifting, opening. 1 more breath here. Release the left hand, bring your gaze back to center, bring your knees back to center. Pick up your hips and reorganize so they are back to center. Soles of the feet come together, knees apart, left hand to heart, right hand to belly. Supta Baddha Konasana, reclining butterfly. 3 breaths here. Honoring connection. All the connections in the world we do have. To ourselves, the heart space, belly space. To those we love. To friends and acquaintances. To those we will love and know but don't know yet. And finally to the earth being. Noticing the connection of the occiput on the floor, the shoulder blades on the floor, the sacrum on the floor, sides of your feet on the floor. Huge inhale. And exhale. You can stay here for Shavasana if you wish, or come into corpse pose, spreading your legs long, toes fall to the outer edge of the mat, palms come by your side, face up towards the sky. Adjust your shoulders so they're comfortable, and take a moment to arrive in Shavasana, our final resting pose. Notice what's connected to the earth, what's touching, backs of the palms, backs of the arms, back of the head. Scan through your body and notice what is connected to the earth being. Take an inhale. And an exhale. Allow yourself to sink in here and relax fully. Noticing that even in your stillness, things are circulating around, connecting one cell to the next. Your body's breathing for itself, not needing any effort or energy for this connection. Just all happening as it should, always happening, always taking care of you, always connected. Allowing yourself to sink in and enjoy.
Gently deepen your breath. Reconnecting your consciousness back into your body. Slowly start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Become aware of the connections in your body from your fingers up your arms, your toes up your legs. Use the breath here. Take a huge inhale, filling your chest fully. Stretch your arms long above and your toes long in front, if that would feel good. And a huge exhale, letting it go. Draw your knees into your chest and roll to whatever side feels good. Taking a moment to pause and appreciate yourself for taking the time today to practice on your mat. To appreciate all of the connection that you have with yourself, with others, with the world, and with the earth. Noticing where you do belong. All of our shared common humanity. When you're ready, press into your hands and come up to a comfortable seat. Reconnect your sit bones to the earth. Tilt your pelvis forward and stack your spine all the way up towards the sky. Reach the crown of your head towards the sky. Rest your hands lightly on your thighs. And take in an inhale into that heart space. And an exhale, let it go. Bring a left hand to heart, right hand atop. Reconnect to your heart space. Bring your hands to heart center. Finger pads touch. Connect each one. Notice the skin to skin connection, the cellular shifts as you do that, and how delicious it feels. Rub your palms together. Bring your thumbs to sternum, connect inward. Eyes can be closed if you wish, or open, whatever feels good. Thank you all so much for practicing with me today. May you all have a beautiful week. Find much connection and belonging. Notice the webs and enjoy the journey. Namaste.